So first off, let me say, excuse me if I seem a little short or some places I like duck out of the video like that because I'm improvising right now. I don't have a tripod with me, and there aren't a lot of places in the room that I can put the camera and be able to sit on a chair or on the couch and have it focused the way it's supposed to, so I'm sitting on the floor. But while it was on my mind, I had a few things to say about The Social Network, because Pro Gamer and I went to see that along with my girlfriend last week, I think it was, and I never got a second to sit down and talk about it or really spill my mind about it. And yeah, I do have a few things to say. And as far as the review goes, sorry for the ums. When I went into the movie, I was not expecting anything, really. The only thing I was expecting from the movie was that it was a movie that had Facebook as its prime subject matter, which kind of caught me off guard. You know, the first time I saw the preview, while I was in another movie, the trailer caught me off guard. I was sitting there thinking, they're making a movie about Facebook, the guy who made Facebook, or the guys who made Facebook, and that just like blew my mind. I didn't know what to think about that. So the movie gets here and it's actually released, and we go to see it. And this movie got really good critical response. Everyone said it was well directed and well scripted, and they said it was slow in some parts, but it really, it moved along, and it kept a good enough pace for what it was, and it was interesting and all this stuff, and really gave it high marks, and gave Jesse Eisenberg's acting high marks and everything. And I don't know, I can't say that I agree with all of that. I suppose I can to a point, but really the main thing that turned me off from the movie is that anyone you talk to, or any of the reviews you read, they'll make it a point to say, no, you don't understand. This is not a movie about Facebook. It's much more than a movie about Facebook. It's about people and their internal struggles, and how you lose friends, and how relationships develop and evolve, and the struggle of someone who's inherently I don't know what I want to call him, Jesse Eisenberg's character, the guy who made Facebook. I mean, the way they portray him in the movie, he's kind of dissociative. He pushes people away, inherently dissociative. What it's like to be in those shoes and things like that. I guess. I mean, it is, but it's a movie about Facebook. It really is. What are they talking about the whole time? Talking about Facebook. What are they doing? They're involved in legal battles that concern Facebook. All the flashbacks and all of the people who you're supposed to be concerned about, what are they talking about? They're talking about Facebook. That's what the theme of the movie is. That's the point. It's the main subject matter of the movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. There are also a lot of deeper elements to the characters and the roles that they have in the movie, and they're developed pretty well, But the movie still is about Facebook. Everything you're listening to is about Facebook. Oh, I'm mad at you, and I'm mad at you because Facebook. I don't do this. It's Facebook. Oh, Facebook. It's a movie about Facebook. You can say that it's not as much as you want, but it is a movie about Facebook. That's what The Social Network is. And that's my main problem with the movie. I've seen other movies too, that have not been, completely burned down by the critics and by the viewers. Maybe have even gotten pretty good reviews themselves, and just they were kind of lost on me. One particular example I can think of is, the adaptation of Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks. Was the movie good? I mean, it was well acted and well shot, and not a terrible script, and had some interesting visuals, things they did, and it was entertaining. I can't say it was terrible. Nothing about it was, worth mocking that much. I mean, except for the kind of Scooby-Doo-esque flow of the whole thing. I never read the book, so I don't know if it was like that in the book or not, or if that's the way they kind of streamlined it. But the main problem I had with that movie was it was pointless. I mean, what's it was a story about, Christianity, the Catholic Church, deception within the Catholic Church, right? And it was all intense and scary and things like that, and blah blah blah, and and you get to the end and you find out the secret. I won't spoil it. I'm sure there's someone out there maybe who hasn't seen it yet, and they're like, "Spoilers! You're an idiot because you spoiled the movie," and I'll be like, But you find this all out, and it's like, but what? How would that have impacted anything in any way, except for the internal workings of, Catholicism, like the Vatican? You know what I mean? The secret gets out, and like, what about the entire rest of the world who is not Christian? What, it won't be. It's not like it's not going to start a cataclysm. It was a secret, and someone finds out, and they're like, "Wow, this sucks." So now the Catholic Church is like, "Rah," but everyone else in the world is like, "Okay, what does that mean for me?" And that's the problem with the social network. That's the problem I had with the social network. I was getting involved with the characters, and I was enjoying seeing what happened between them, and undoubtedly Jesse Eisenberg, he turns in a really good performance. I mean, the only other movie I saw with him in it was Zombieland, but I really didn't like him in Zombieland. He was okay, but in this movie he turns in a pretty good performance. I mean, I was like amused and entertained the whole time. He has some great lines. He delivers them really well, but the subject matter is still Facebook. And if you don't care about Facebook, and if you don't care about it's like, what impact does this have on anything? It did change the face of the social network. I mean, really globally it did. But if you're going to see the movie, or even if you're alive, you know that happened. That was kind of an event. It's like, oh, the MySpace, Facebook, Friendster phenomenon, this is online social networking. It's changed. It was an actual world event. Why was the movie necessary? All it is just a story about people who go through struggles trying to become something. Become famous, trying to make money, trying to be who they are, trying to seize power or whatever. There have been countless other movies that are really just pressing the same point and are able to stay a little bit more universally relevant because they don't have the very specific, maybe real world theme in there, like this movie does, Facebook. I keep saying that a lot. I keep saying the word Facebook, but that's what the movie boils down to. It's a struggle about people who created Facebook. And that's it. I mean, in a lot of parts I was kind of bored, and I was like, why do I care about any of this? We're listening to Justin Timberlake play the guy who invented Napster, talk about Napster and talk about how they can change the world. And I was just like, I'm sure, I don't know, it was lost on me. And I can't recommend it, honestly. Like, I can't recommend anyone to see the movie. If you're watching this, and or you watch my other videos, or you're one of my friends IRL, and if you're like, hey, what'd you think about Social Network? I'll be like, it's okay, but don't watch it. I mean, if you want to, I guess so. But if you want to go watch it, if you saw the preview and you were like, I want to go see that movie about Facebook, then go see it. That's simple as that. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the only real appeal it has. And I went to it because Marcus, Pro Gamer, he was like, oh, dude, everybody's saying it's really good. It's got really good, directing, and I'm curious, and blah, blah, blah. It's not just about Facebook. And I went, and I was like, no, it's pretty much just about Facebook. Any which way you cut it. I wish I could articulate my thoughts on this more, but if I want to watch a movie about people's internal struggles when it comes to social relationships, I'll watch something else that doesn't use Facebook as a foundation. I mean, it's like, who gives a shit? Many people would look at Facebook and the whole revolution of online social networking as really like, a negative development. It's a lot of people call it the downfall of the digital age because it's for a reason. I don't think highly of it. I mean, who does, honestly? Some of the innovations are good. Now I'm just being into other things. Some of the innovations are good, but I mean, the whole, it's almost like sterilization, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a process of like social sterilization and just, I don't know, conformity. And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, anti-conformity, and I'm not a conformist, and blah, 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 blah. It's impossible. The term conformist is just completely relative and just stupid. But mass conformity, mass uniformity is just, I don't know, that's what it seems like it's pressing towards. And it's like, it's hard to get involved with the movie. Like if you're watching a movie to get emotionally invested, it's like there's a bar in my brain that blocks me from becoming emotionally invested with people who made Facebook. I want to get emotionally invested with people who are like, you know, like, oh, like, you know, things I can relate to, you know what I mean? And that may sound stupid because I use Facebook. I have a Facebook, and millions of people have, what was it, millions or, I can't remember, no, over, anyway, I don't know the numbers, but yeah. Well over 1 million people have Facebooks. Can they relate? Sure, in that they use it, but I'm not sure how that's going to bring us any closer to relating to the characters or, you know, their dilemma, you know. I don't know, I wasn't impressed. I was impressed with Jesse Eisenberg, like I said, because he kicked ass in that movie. He was really good. And so is his friend in the movie. I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember his real name or the character name, but yeah, he turned in a good performance too. And I guess it was okay. It's just not something. It's kind of like it came and it went. And did it affect me in any way? Not at all. Was it technically sound? Yeah. Does it matter to me? No. Did it inspire any new thoughts in me? No. You know, because they're tried and true ideas that are presented in the movie, and they don't really evoke any kind of thought. Because the thought that is presented in the movie, the material, it's stuff that we deal with every day, you know what I mean? It's stuff we already think about, and so, I don't know. I can't recommend it on that level either, but yeah, I'm just rambling now, so that's my take on The Social Network, and that's about all I have to say, I guess. So hey, I'm gonna grab my remote so I can do this in style. But yeah, Super Long D saying peace out for now, and if you got anything to say at all, holla back. See ya.